Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Now guys, this is another TvT. It's from the Razor Replay Pack of the Week starring LiquidSea, who's up against GanZi, the blue Terran player in the lower right position. The map is Ahana and well, I've been super impressed by this replay pack so far. It has been so fun. Like 9.5 out of 10 in terms of awesomeness games I've been casting this afternoon, and just thank you to Team Liquid for putting these up. I wish they do them weekly. They call it the Razor Replay Pack of the Week, but at the moment it seems more like the Razor Replay Pack of the kind of 6 weeks-ish, which, sad face, please bring them out weekly because they are just so damn good. Now, obviously looking here, we do of course have GanZi putting the wall off there, already a different sea. Doesn't seem to really like walling off in TvT. He just builds that supply depot at the back there and is pretty happy with it, so that's all fine. In terms of strategy, well, Ahana, nice, easy to hold natural base, so I reckon quite quick expansions out of both of these two. In terms of the positioning as well, you've got the cliff, which can utilize drops quite effectively, and yeah, as a result, the dead space as well kind of around the map. There's not a huge amount to the natural, but the main base has obviously this kind of area you can come up into, and the third base as well has a huge amount of dead space behind it, so maybe see some Banshee. C does seem to have, C's comfortable going infantry heavy, tank heavy, mech heavy in terms of his style in TvT, so it'll be interesting to see how GanZi feels about doing it now. Obviously TvT is one of those matchups which I think people either love or hate. I personally love it because it is just so strategic in everything you can do, and all the movements, army positioning is just brilliant. I really think it's one of the best thought out matchups in the game, and it's a pleasure to cast it as well because it's always really tense because all those siege lines and things like that can just make such a difference, the air superiority, etc. It's pretty hardcore. Now, anyway guys, let me say, if you do like my casting, please subscribe. I get new games up every day of the week, and leave a cool comment, like the video, etc. Follow me on Twitter, yada yada yada. But the big thing which I'm trying to push at the moment is if you, yes you, the person listening right now, have any StarCraft 2 games that you would like me to cast for you, be it that you are bronzy, be it that you are the best of the best Grandmaster, send them through to sc2england@hotmail.co.uk, and I would love to cast some more subscriber games. It would be awesome, so please do send them through. Let me know why they're awesome, and yeah, you can get my opinion on your playstyle, or if you're a top GM player, I'll probably just shoutcast it because you are probably better than me. So anyone in between, you'll get some degree of analysis and basically play-by-play casting, but it'll be pretty fun. I know everyone who's sent them through so far have loved the casts I've done of them, so yeah, definitely worthwhile going. Now GanZi, he's getting the 1 rack command center, 1 rack command center out of the sea as well, so they're going for similar builds. We've got the gas up for GanZi, double gas, which is the correct follow-up. You go 1 rack CC, double gas, and then you either have, you have different options. You can go obviously 2 more barracks after that, or you can go for a factory. It depends how you want to use the gas, to be honest, how you want to tech, what your plan is. Now, looking here, obviously we do have the double gas out of GanZi before anything else, whereas C, he went for the racks and then the command center, then the double racks follow-up, so before the gas, so going to go really infantry heavy at the moment. That's quite an indicator of his playstyle, is going to be more marine tank, because otherwise you just wouldn't get up those additional barracks. So, can't wait to see what GanZi's going to do at the moment. Obviously his gas is coming up quite high, so we'll wait and see what he chucks down. For the moment though, the other big difference is GanZi building his command center on the high ground, whereas C's on the low ground, which just adds another couple of seconds earlier. You get it down. We've got the factory there for GanZi, so really both these players going for the complete opposite follow-up to the build of 1 rack CC. We've got the double racks compared to the factory, so that is a really nice play. There goes down the reactor. Maybe GanZi going to go for more mech heavy style. It can be really effective. It just depends on all of your positioning. You have to be really good with the tanks and things like that, and the air superiority as well plays into that hugely. Your use of Banshees and Vikings, etc. Whereas Marine Tank is much more about just dealing with the tank lines effectively. So looking here, we do of course have a Tech Lab coming down. I'm interested to see what comes down from that. Stim going down. Obviously the other option is Combat Shield, or if you think you're going to get an awful lot of early aggression, or you want to do some early aggression because it just is a quicker upgrade to get out. But for the moment, to be honest, C's in a good spot. He's running some units up here. We'll see a bunker though, so we'll pull back. Looking here, we've got the Starport coming down, and a 3rd command center coming down from GanZi very early. I doubt that'll be floated down to the 3rd position though quite yet, purely based on the fact that it's quite hard to hold. I reckon it's much more likely to see him just keep in his base for a while. But see, he's taking his own 3rd really quickly as well, so this is really economically focused play by both of these two guys at the moment, and that is really fun to watch because the double reactor coming down, the factory now just starting. And in terms of the map dominance, well, obviously C is really dominating in terms of what he can see, so that is obviously good for him. We've got the barracks moving over there, the starport going to come over to the tech lab, so we should see some banshees coming out, which is always good fun. For the moment though, medevac just on its way, so I'm surprised that hasn't switched quite yet. I'll be interested to see what that's doing. Maybe it's the factory's going to switch over, and then the starport to the reactor. That's always a possibility as well. For the moment though, 2 Hellions, they're just coming up, they're going to run away again. Good marine positioning here from C. Those Hellions won't have much of a fun time. Stim half done, a scan goes off, sees most of the things happening, so obviously see those 3 barracks, but importantly don't see the add-ons, which that can make a big difference to what's going to go down. The Hellions should come up and check the 3rd base location, should deny it for quite a while. They'll be able to pick off that SCV. And of course with no defense there, that means that it will delay the 3rd base construction for a bit, which is obviously good times. But actually no, the Hellions didn't finish off the SCV. That is not what you want to do, and now of course they're going to get trapped in by those Marines, which is a bit of a pain because you're going to about to lose 2 Hellions exceptionally quickly, but the Hellion just gets away with 6 health points, so I'd say it's still worth it, losing a Hellion to delay that base by what is quite a few seconds. Obviously GanZi's got his own orbital command finished up now, he just needs to float it down should he want to take it, or alternatively he'll just keep it in the main base and use it for the muling and the extra workers. Now the double engineering bay coming down, which is again just nice play, it's all good. We've got the Hellions up in the main base though from GanZi, and see, he's going to have to do something good here. Pulling those SCVs closer does allow you to contain them, but it does also mean that the Hellions can get more shots off. He's doing the right thing, just leaving him in kind of stop command spread out to prevent any lining up, so the Hellions can only kill 1 SCV at a time. But that was still a good number of kills actually. He managed to get 8 kills off there, so that puts him at GanZi ahead in terms of the work count. We've got these rocks between the natural and 3rd getting taken down, the watchtower being held effectively. Looking down here for GanZi, he's getting his 3rd and 4th gas up. He's getting the double upgrade started already. Double upgrades also coming down for C there as well. So both players going for similar builds at the moment. We've got the double medevacs coming out. We do of course have combat shield on the way though for C, which GanZi at the moment, well, he doesn't have any upgrades. He has no combat shield, he has no stim, neither of them even started yet. So these Marines are going to be an awful lot stronger for LiquidSea compared to GanZi's at the moment, and stim is such a powerful upgrade. I'm surprised it hasn't even been considered to start yet. Siege mode though is coming out a lot quicker though for GanZi. I mean, it's already half done, it hasn't even been started yet for C. The tank count is a lot better for GanZi as well. As you can see, no tanks out for LiquidSea yet compared to the 3 tanks. That's basically just putting in a very nice defensive spot should you want to hold off. See though, he's got a double drop loaded up. Now, where is he going to send all of those? He's loading it up. There's no real vision. There's a supply depot coming down, but no missile turret, so they should be able to comfortably come in, and that will actually be able to do an awful lot of damage should it get in completely undetected, which would appear it's going to be for the moment. Looking here, we've got a bunker, an armory coming up there. Well, that's just going to allow the 2-2 upgrades to get started. There's also an armory coming down for GanZi as well. Slightly later, obviously the armory required to get the 2-2 upgrades after the 1-1. We do now have GanZi moving up, and all of his army is just so far away, and this double drop could do so much damage if it comes in, but of course it's delayed at the moment, and well, if C doesn't force this army to pull back, he's going to have big problems. He's simultaneously going to go and attack the 3rd base as well, but these two, they don't really want to get in a base race situation because C just doesn't have enough tanks to really deal the huge amounts of damage that he would need, and this could be pretty close. The double drop coming down, and what is GanZi going to do? Is he going to pull back? Well, no, for the moment it looks like he's just going to carry on moving forward, so we could literally see these two almost base race each other, which would be pretty bold. We've got Marines coming into the natural as well. For the moment, we've got Siege just trying to delay this push as best he can, but he's not got much units in his base. He's not got anything really to defend these. Those tanks are going to be able to siege up incredibly quickly. Looking down here, though, the main base has been picked off by C already. His Marines doing good amounts of damage, but this is definitely base racing. We've got all the SCVs being pulled as well. A handful of Marines trying to pick off those tanks as quickly as they can, but they're not focusing anything down. They're taking lots of damage. Medevacs healing up all of GanZi's forces, and well, this is absolutely bonkers right now. Of course, we do have the 1 tank in the natural. We've got all the SCVs being pulled up here, trying to deal with C's units. C is a lot further behind in terms of the supply count, and doing exactly the right thing, engaging the Marines in the SCVs in a tiny little choke, but that 1 tank coming in, if it just sieged up, that would do huge amounts of damage. Meanwhile, though, the tanks are here in C's base, but the trouble is they don't have the highest DPS going, and of course the tank's getting picked off still here by C. GanZi is supply blocked. He's got another tank on the way up, but his Marine numbers are very quickly falling, and I think, well, the supplies are exactly equal at the moment, but that good little siege positioning there, I think, is going to allow GanZi to win, to be honest. He's got quite a few Marines here for C coming in, but those tanks just deal so much damage, it's pretty deadly. Then of course with a handful of Marines there as well, but all the tanks now cleaned up, and this is where things get really funky. It's pretty much Marines v Marines up in the main base of GanZi, though, he's bringing one of those orbital commands over. He's happily trying to deal with most of this, but it's getting pretty close, and this is just intense action up in C's base as well, because, well, those medevacs, they are healing as quickly as they can, but the lack of reinforcements for GanZi basically just means that eventually he will lose this fight and pull back. But this is kind of reset. Both of these players' base races have been shut down. The worker count 20 to 24 in GanZi's favour. The only difference, though, and it is a big difference, is there are 3 orbital commands down for C and only the 2 for GanZi. That may allow him to catch up very, very quickly, but C looks like he's getting ready, gearing up for the next push. And of course, the other downside for GanZi is because he's so tank heavy in his force, it takes a lot longer for him to move across the map. We do have Marines spread out, though. They don't want another drop going down here, so that drop almost certainly going to get picked up by that Marine unless it really hugs the side of the wall. Which again, it may. We've got a couple of Marines coming up towards the 3rd base, and hardly any forces there at all for C at the moment. That starport needs repairing, and luckily the SCV gets there in time. That factory just smouldering a bit, it's fine, everything's good, and well, looking here, we should see these units pull back, trying to defend that, but obviously they're going to need to be spotted first, which they haven't, and this is a massive force out of GanZi. He's a long way ahead in terms of the supply count, in terms of the army, almost 20 supply ahead now, which is really quite a lot. Those SCVs getting pulled back already. C must be tuned into hearing that stim sound, and well, I don't know if he did spot that. He does. He has the watchtower, so he sees the force coming through the middle, pulling back into a more defensive location, but with only the 1 tank, he could run into problems because there's 3 tanks there for GanZi, and I think this is going to be a very, very tough hold. The Marines stimming forward, though, trying to deal damage. The siege mode is helping an awful lot. GanZi's units, of course, not sieged up yet, but I think GanZi's going to take it just with the additional tank numbers and additional medevac numbers. I think that is almost certainly going to be it now. But having said that, there is a drop coming down in the main base, but it is getting cleaned up by GanZi's tanks and Marines there. So this is, I'm 99% sure, going to be GG. I think C's going to lose this one, but it has been a super tense game with the double aggression on both sides, all the drop plays, the kind of base races were cancelled, so this has been really, really good fun to watch, and it's a shame C lost it, but I don't think he can come back from this now. The tanks have mutually destroyed, but there's just too many Marines and medevacs in there for GanZi at the moment, and he's picking everything off, and there is a triple G from LiquidSea, who's like, it's a good, great game. It's like a new thing he's going to do, I reckon. But anyway, that game was super, super fun to watch. So if you did enjoy it, guys, please subscribe. New games up daily. Leave a cool comment. But most importantly, I hope you did enjoy it. And I will see you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thank you very much, and bye for now.